property, poverty, provisions, and plunder. The principles on welfare and taxation. So the thief came to steal and kill and destroy it. I came to give it that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Question, does God want abundance of property? Does God want poverty for us? Of course not. God made all things and declared them very good. Producing in abundance was the Creator's intention for us. Saan ho yun? Kanina sinabi natin, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Ano pa sinabi? All property and wealth is God's and He placed principles for man to follow. Okay? Yan ho tinuturo lagi ni Bishop Carding. No? God is a God of blessing and wealth. Kaya nga, nakikita ko sa buhay niya. Because there are principles, and the first principle of what? Of provision and property is work is the key to production. Kaya ho pala, mag-ingat ho tayo kasi kung gusto ho natin kumita nang hindi tayo nagtatrabaho, ano ho yan? Ako pagka ganyan po nakita na, attorney, pumasok ka dito, wala ka nang gagawin. Talaga? Sasakay ka lang dito sa sistema. Red flag na sa akin agad yun. Bakit? Kasi sinabi ng Bible, kailangan magtrabaho ako. Or yung pinaghirapan kong dapat meron akong investment. Kaya nga lagi, kung kaya mo mag-invest sa sarili mo, invest ka sa sarili mo. Huwag kang makisakay sa trabaho ng iba. Work is the key to production. First, do not abuse the earth and act fairly. Huwag kang mang-aabuso. Huwag mong aabusuhin ng iba. Huwag mo rin a-abuse ang meron ka and the earth. That is, of course, based on the stewardship principle. And do not worship possession. Marami ho sa atin, we do not have possessions. Our possessions have us. Pagka nawala ang lahat sa'yo, pakamatay. Because, your possession defines who you are. Sabi ko nga ho dati lagi that ang taong mahirap, hindi yung taong walang pera, pero yung taong walang pangarap at walang pangitain. Kasi ang pinagkaiba ng taong mayaman at ang taong mahirap, pareho silang nawawala ng pera, pero yung isa may pangitain. And poverty starts with the bankruptcy of the spirit and the soul. So, don't worship possessions. But the Bible tells us that there will always be wealthy and there would always be the poor amongst us. Huwag ho tayong magalit kasi merong mahirap, meron hong mayaman. Kasi hindi ho natin alam kung bakit ho sila mayaman, hindi rin natin alam kung bakit sila mahirap. Hello? Magalit tayo kung meron ng loloko, ng dadaya. So, what did Paul said to Timothy? Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, which richly provides provides us with everything for our enjoyment. Command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, and to be generous and willing to share. Mayaman ka? Huwag mong Diyosin ang iyong ari-arian, matakot ka sa Panginoon, at magbigay. So kung mayaman ka, merong order si Lord sa'yo. Tama po ba? Huwag mayabang, huwag kang arugante. Huwag mong, ako may-ari ng simbahan ako lang ng balaki nagbibigay dyan ng tithes. Alam mo, pag di ka nagbigay sa gawain pang, magtutuloy yan. Tama po ba? Ikaw, kawawa ka. Bakit? You're not living according to the principles of God. And not only that the rich and the wealthy would always be there, but the poor will always be with us. Sinabi po, the poor you will always have with you. And you will not always have me. Sino nagsabi na to? Si Jesus. It's like you cannot declare war against gravity. You cannot declare war against... Why? You cannot declare war against sin. Yes, sin is there. We conquer it by the cross and the blood of Christ. But it is always there until Christ comes back and establishes His own kingdom here on earth. Hindi ho pala problema, may mayaman, may hirap. Ang question po dito is, paano niya nakuha? But the truth of the matter is, sin produced curses. Tama po ba? There is no vision, where there is a vision, the people cast off restraint. What is vision? Revelation of God. Revelation of Jesus. They cast off restraint, walang direction. But blessed is he who keeps the law. The law is the living word of God. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you will eat of it and the days of your life. Who is cursed? Was man cursed? The ground was cursed. And the work is not part of the curse. Tama po ba? Kasi may trabaho na siya. Mas mahirap na lang yung trabaho niya ngayon. Because dati sinabi, you till the land. Pero ngayon, gawin mo yung trabaho mo, tingnan natin kung so mahirap. It's difficult. Life became difficult because of sin. Sin came about, poverty was a result of sin. So what is now the causes of poverty? Quickly, okay? First is personal sin and fault. Laziness or idleness, poor work ethic. Those who will not work should not be allowed to eat. Sabi ho ni Paul, lack of self-discipline, stubbornness, drunkenness, and gluttony, rebellion, personal sins including greed, expensive tastes, dishonesty, and frivolous pursuits. What else? Pursuing pleasure, loving, and lust. Whoever loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. He who follows worthless pursuit will have plenty of poverty. What else? The love of money or quick rich. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. What else? Natural disasters, of course. Natural disasters and evils. Earthquakes, disease, namatay yung magulang, namatay, pinatay. Hindi mo nga kasalanan, kasalanan naman ng iba. Nag-imbalance ang nature dahil sa kasalanan. Kasalanan pa din. And what else? Injustices, causes, poverty, theft, delayed wages, hindi mo binabayaran tama, unbiblical taxation, broken justice system, usury on loans, and the needy. Lahat yan violation po ng prinsipyo na salita ng Diyos. Other systemic oppressions, too many to mention. Now, does the Bible want us to care for the poor? Let's see. Those who shut their eyes to the cries of the poor will be ignored in their own time of need. Sabi, speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up for and judge fairly, defend the rights of the poor and the needy. Do not rob the poor because he is poor, or crush the afflicted at the gate, for the Lord will plead their cause and rob of life those who rob them. And verse 29:7, a righteous man knows the rights of the poor. A wicked man does not understand such knowledge. So question, does God want us to help the poor? Yes. Question, sino and under whose realm? Sino ho dapat ang merong responsibility of welfare? The first person responsible to bringing the poor out of its misery is what? The poor man himself. Wag ho natin i-sugarcoat kasi naawa tayo. Kung hindi mo sasabihin sa addict na, alam mo, kung hindi ka gusto magbago, magiging addict ka pa rin. We can only do so much for you. Because poverty starts internally, starts in the mind, starts in the spirit. If you will not accept the Lord Jesus Christ, you will still be poor. Kahit magano ka ng pera, ubusin mo yan sa sarili mo. Hindi mo maintindihan that you have to continue on the covenant with God. Amen? So for to everyone who was, more will be given, and he will have abundance. From him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. Adversity pursues sinners, but the righteous will be rewarded with prosperity. Sino ho yun? Righteous. Sino bang righteous? Pwede mo bang gawing righteous ang mahirap? Ikaw ang gagawin mo siyang righteous, o kailangan si Lord ang tatanggapin niya? Si Lord, He do it Himself. We could disciple them and teach them. Alam niyo po, before po ako nag-lawyer, alam niyo po ng iba sa inyo po, no? I became a pastor when I was 20 years old. No? Hindi ko akalain na mag-aabogasya pa ako. So, meron po akong mga napulot po na mga isang pamilya sa may Cubao. Ano? Dinala ko po doon sa bahay namin. Kasi nag-attend ho ng church namin doon sa Quezon City. Nakita ko, nakasabay ko sa jeep. Kasama ko po yung mga kasama ko. Pagsakay ho namin doon, bumaba kami ng jeep, may lagnat ho yung nanay. Pagkita ko, bakit si ate, sumalampak na doon sa Cubao? Sabi ko, puntahan natin. So, binaba namin. Kasi bakit? Iniisip ko, ikasama ko kanina sa church, nag-breaking of bread kami. Sabi namin, God bless you, God bless you. Tapos ngayon, makikita ko sasalampak doon sa kalsada. And then uuwi ako sa bahay, matutulog ako doon sa kwarto ko, sa bahay ko. Hindi, babayin natin. So bumaba ko kami, kasama ko yung mga kasama ko. Sabi ko, Nay, bakit ka nandyan? At pastor, pinalis kami. Doon sa hindi kami makabayad. May trabaho ba? Asawa mo? Opo, barker. Okay. Gano'ng katagal doon siya makahanap? Mga 3 araw lang po. Sige, sama ka sa akin. So, dinala namin sa bahay. Sabi ng nanay ko, malis ka dito. Nag-isa, bumalik ka, 7 kayo. Sabi sa akin. Sabi ko, huwag ka magalit sa akin. May nagturo sa akin na nanay ko. Tumulong sa tao. Anyway, so, yung 3 araw, naging 1 linggo. Yung 1 linggo, naging 1 buwan. Yung 1 buwan, naging 1 taon. So, but in the process, what we did was, tinawag mo namin tatay. Sabi namin sa tatay, huwag ka na mag-barker dyan. Pantayan mo na lang yung sa church, dito ka maglinis, bibigyan ka namin ng allowance. Nanay, huwag mo na tuturuan yung mga anak mo mamalimos. Okay? Dito ka, so turuan mo yung anak mo, attend ka sa Bible study, sa prayer and everything. And then, yung mga kikitain na tatay, adi pwede natin padala yung mga bata. Tinutulungan ho talaga namin. Eventually, after 1 year, they got so fed up with the structure, kinausap ako, Pastor, aalis na ho kami kasi mas masaya pa kami sa kalsada. Okay? Kasi doon walang, it's a jungle out there. So we could basically do what we want. So, okay, sige. Ikaw, kung anong gusto mo, kasi siyempre, stable na yung tatay, kumikita, tapos siguro mas malaking kita kasi 7 ang anak Siguro malaki ang kinikita sa limos. Nagagalit ako pagka nakikita ko na abutan ko dun sa may recto, namamalimos. Ba't dito ka? Hindi mo na kailangan malimos. Tatay mo may trabaho. So you can take a person off the street, but you cannot take the street off the person. So, sabi ko, sige nay, kung anong gusto mo, okay. So sa isip ko, okay, so boundary na ako, sabi ko. And then after 1 week, bumalik. Kinausap daw siya ni Lord, 1 week. Kinausap ako ng Lord, Pastor, nanaginip ako. Huwag daw kitang iwanan, bumalik ako sa'yo. Isip-isip ko, baka wala na kayong makain. Bumalik na naman kayo, tapos aalis na naman kayo. Tapos, ang sabi ho ng isang pastor na kasama ko, tahimik lang naman ako nung kinakausap ako, nakaupo kami. Sabi ng isang pastor, kinausap ka ng Lord. Sige, hintayin natin nakausapin ni Lord si pastor. Okay. So, tinulungan pa rin ho natin sila, but the point is this, we cannot really force productivity to people, no? And I think one of the children eventually, nakita po niya, and yun ho ngayon ang ini-invest na namin ng oras. So, the point is, you cannot really make person productive. If the person really knows, of course, lumaki sila sa ganung sitwasyon, pero kinakailangan talaga natin silang turuan. Anyway, so, prove your own work, sinabi ng Bible. Okay, so it is God who makes rich and makes us honorable. Both the rich and honor come from you, sabi ng Bible. So what is now welfare? Welfare in the King James definition is good faring, exemption from misfortune, sickness, calamity, or evil, exemption from unusual evil or calamity, and it is also the word shalom. Completeness, fullness, welfare. I bid you welfare. I bid you peace, welfare, health, well-being, wholeness, and completeness. Yung pala yun, welfare. So in short, welfare is the provision for the wholeness of one who does not have. It pertains to the transfer of property to one who has and has not from one who has. So gusto ba ni Lord na mag-provide tayo sa welfare? Sino ho ang merong dapat mag-provide ng welfare? Sabi natin, ang tao na may katawan, siya ho ang dapat magsipag. Pangalawa, kung meron hong mahirap, sino ho ang unang dapat tumulong? It's the family, right? But if anyone does not provide for his own, especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So, dapat magpabayaan? Kasi tinanggalan natin sa state. Wala nang hindi ho. Yung pamilya dapat na mag-step up. Kasi trabaho niya yan. Sino sunod? Ang iglesia. I'm sorry. Nagpagpapalit ko, pinipindot ko kasi dito ho kasi isa-isa. The church, pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their trouble and to keep oneself unspotted from the world. So question, who is now to be given welfare? Sino ang qualified na bigyan ng welfare? Those who are unable to help themselves, according to 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 10. Hindi kung sino lahat ang gusto. Sino ang walang kakayanan? Sino ang maybe disabled sila, hindi nila talaga kaya, tulungan. Because it is not by choice na nahihirapan sila. Because the lazy man will not plow because of the winter, a little sleep, a little slumber, folding in funds, hihirap sila kapag hindi sila sinasadya nila na magtamad-tamaran. Ano pa? The widows. At hindi lahat daw ng widows. Yung mga batang widows, sabi ni Paul, encourage mo sila mag-asawa. They become busybodies because they can still provide for their family. But the widows, which is the 60 years old above, let them devote themselves in the service of God and help them. Who else? The orphans. Yung mga fatherless. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child, sabi ng Exodus. James 1:27, kanina binasa natin, visit the orphans and the widows in trouble. And who else? A brother in need. 1 John chapter 3 verse 17, if anyone has material possession and sees a brother or a sister in need, but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? So dapat hubang tulungan ng mga nangangailangan? Yes. Family. First is the person na may katawan. It's the family. And then, who else? It's the church. So now the application of the principles of property now. Okay? Restrictions, sharing, taking, and distribution. It is in this scriptural context that we should understand and consider the validity of justness of any interference to the property, whether it be an individual or by a corporate entity or by the state. Can the government take private property? Question. If so, for what purpose and how much? Ano ba yung taking of property? Pwede ho in just compensation, pwede rin naman in taxation. Biblical ho ba ang taxation? Makita natin. It is likewise worthy to examine the cause of poverty which results from lack of peoples and property. Also, it is God's will for those who have to give and to share their property to those who have not, or at least does not have enough. If so, who is responsible to give and who are qualified to receive? Kanina na-discuss na natin. What are the effects of overtaxation and state welfare, progressive taxation, Philippines, and the world history? Okay, on taxation now. What is now taxation? The government now takes a cut on everything na kinikita mo. Quick principles lang po. First, taxation na Bible should be proportional. Proportionality. Hindi yung habang dumadami ang production mo, lalo kitang pinahihirapan. What we have is a progressive tax system because they say those who have more has to be able to pay more. Question, sino dito ano hong naalala niyo ilang percentage ang tithing, ang tithe? 10, okay. So kung meron kang 100 piso, magkano ang kailangan mong ibigay na tithe? 10. Meron kang 1,000 pesos, magkano po ang tithe niyo? 100. Meron kang 10,000 pesos, magkano po ang tithe? Question, yung kumikita ho ba ng 100 pesos at yung kumikita po ng 10,000 pesos, sino mas malaki ang tithe na binabayaran? Yung meron 10,000, bakit? Kasi mas malaki po yung tax base niya, yung tithe base niya. Tama po ba? So it's what? It's proportional. And who established that principle? God established that principle. Bakit mas marunong pa tayo? So is the concept of flat tax rate, proportional tax rate, new? No. It's not only new. It's in fact what has been being implemented in Israel and also in other countries today. Namatay yung pero dadalian ko na lang kasi nagrereklamo na siguro ng computer. If she cannot afford a lamb, then she shall take 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons, the one for a burnt offering and the other for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for her and shall be clean. Sinabi dito, merong mga tao na hindi kaya bumili daw sa templo nung pang-offer niya sa Lord. Sabi niya, hindi niya kaya bumili ng lamb, sabi ng Lord, sige, kung di mo kaya bumili ng lamb, bili ka na ng turtle dove. Proportionate pa din sa kakayanan mo. Pero ang problema is, habang lumalaki kita mo, lumalaki din yung rate. Pinipinalize ngayon yung iyong productivity. Gusto ng mga negosyante yung sinasabi ko nandito. And worst, yung cut-off po na non-taxable na mga kumikita, may mga tao na hindi nagbabayad. Tama po ba? At yung mga malalaking kinikita kasi may mga kumpanya, tinatago naman ang kanilang babayaran. Tama po ba? Kasi magagaling yung mga accountant. Sino ang nagbabayad? Who end up paying more? The poor and the what? Yung mga nagtatrabaho na empleyado. Kasi wala silang choice eh. Chances are, kung ako po ay meron kumikita, for example, ako po ay may-ari ng kumpanya, chances are, hindi ako nakapagbayad na aking tax kasi lumalabas po, lahat ng aking ginagamit sa bahay, nandun lahat sa kumpanya ko. At dinididak na lamang yan, minamagic natin kung paano. So, we end up paying less, getting less, collecting less. Tama po ba? Naintindihan po ninyo? And meron pa hubang tao na hindi ho nagbabayad ng buwis. Meron iba na exempted sa tax, income tax. Pero yung value-added tax, lahat tayo. Bago lumabas yung income mo, binuwisan na. Yung natira sa income mo, nung ginastos mo, may buwis pa. So more or less, siguro 50% na lang yung spending capacity. Pinag-uusapan ko dito sa mga kasama ko dito before. Almost 50% gotten by the government. Meaning, 8 hours you work, 4 hours you work for the government. Involuntary servitude, slavery. So government, second principle of taxation, government is to reward, not to punish those who do right. Masipag ka, nagninegosyo ka kasi natuto ka, di kunan ka namin na mas malaki because we're punishing, because you cannot be too rich. Because of what? Dahil maraming taong mahirap. So you are now enforcing what? Charity. Principle on personal productivity. You have to what? Encourage people to be productive. Because why? Because government only takes a cut from the productivity ng mga tao. Kung sabihin ng tao, hindi na lang ako magtatrabaho, bakit? Libre naman pala yung binibigyan. Kahit di ako magtrabaho, bibigyan ako ng lahat. So it becomes a disincentivized. Again, am I saying, wag ho natin bigyan ng mga mahirap? Tulungan po natin sila. Pero ibig sabihin, who is the institution who should be enforcing it? It's not the state. So what are the other prohibited taxes in the Bible? Too many for me to go through it. Real property taxes. Sinabi po dyan. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Ano hong nangyayari? Look at this. Ako, napakadami kong experience sa real property taxes. When I was in government, I was the secretary of ARTA. We helped the government offices, patungkol sa kalang tax collection. But I was really, I knew if there is something na kailangan nung baguhin, ito pong amilyar. Bakit? Ganito ho yan. Sino dito may mga lupa? Sino dito nagbabayad ng amilyar? Okay. Anong mangyari kung hindi mo bayaran yung amilyar mo? Okay. Question. Sa'yo ba yung lupa mo? Sa'yo ba yan? Rinirentahan mo. Tama po. Sabi lang, real property taxes. Pero if you don't pay for it, we'll take it from you. Paano kung minana mo yan sa magulang mo? Bakit hindi mo mailipat sa pangalan mo ngayon? Kasi hindi ka rin makabayad ng inheritance tax. Bakit pinipinalis ang inheritance tax? Sinabi, a good man will leave an inheritance to his children. Under other taxes. Dami po tayo sasabihin dyan. Value-added tax. Income tax is what? Kailan ho ba nagkaroon ng income tax kahit sa Amerika? 1911. Prior to that, poll taxes lang. Ibig sabihin, capitation tax. Poll tax, ibig sabihin, hindi yung lupa. Ibig sabihin, ito yung sedula. Ito yung, tawag doon bro, community tax. Ito yung binunit ni Bonifacio. So, here comes Bastiat. Everyone wants to live at the expense of the state. They forget that the state wants to live at the expense of everyone. Government is a great fiction, though, through which everybody endeavors to live at the expense of everybody else. Legal plunder, sinabi niya, it is when the law is used to violate the inalienable rights. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. Kinds of legal plunder, forcibly taking one's property in favor of another, sometimes called social justice, and it gets misused to the detriment of individual rights and freedoms. Sabi ho ni Frederick Bastiat, sabi niya, now legal plunder can be committed in an infinite number of ways. And he was talking about France in the 1800s. So he's a parliamentarian, no? Christian parliamentarian before the revolution. Sabi niya, thus we have an infinite number of plans for organizing it. Legal plunder daw. And what is that? Tariff? Anong tariff? Yung customs. Protection, benefits, subsidies, public schools, guaranteed jobs, guaranteed profits, minimum wage, a right to relief, a credit to the tools of labor, free credit, and so on and so on. Ako ho ba nagsabi nun? Hindi po. And this is somebody it's as if parang ngayon lang yung sinasabi. Right? Bakit ho niya sinasabi yan? Because understanding what is the role of the civil government, rewards and punishment. Who has the role of education? The family, assisted by the church. Who has all of the roles in business? It's the person. It's the family. Pagka pumasok ang gobyerno, kinuha ang pera natin para siya magnegosyo para sa atin at invest ang mga pera natin, delikado. These principles you would be able to understand. And he also says false philanthropy. Si Bastiat, no? Review lang po ulit ito kasi I discussed this before. Legal plunder has two roots. One, as we just seen, is the human selfishness, and the other is false philanthropy. If philanthropy is not voluntary, it destroys liberty and justice. The law can give nothing that was not first taken from the owner. Mabait ng gobyerno kasi binibigyan tayo, pero hindi natin nakikita saan pa kinuha yan. Sino ho dito ang may mga anak who studies in a private school? Asan kamay? Okay, private school. Sino pa? Okay. So most probably, you can afford to pay a private school. But most of the taxes that was taken from you is for purposes of education. Hindi lang education na anak mo. Right? Naintindihan po ba natin? Because sa Constitution natin, most of the income doon papunta sa education. Di pali, pumunta naman doon sa iba. Paano kung merong nangyari, hindi ho napunta doon, kasi nga ho dumaan sa stern bureaucracy at merong mga, hindi natin alam, no? May mga contractor, minsan, gawa ng kalsada, hindi naman mapunta lahat. Anyway, it is impossible to introduce into society a greater change than a greater evil than this, the conversion of law into the instrument of plunder. When plunder becomes a way of life, man creates for themselves a legal system that authorizes and a moral code that glorifies it. And ito nga, finally, try to imagine, sabi ni Bastiat, a regulation of labor imposed by force. Regulation of labor imposed by force, that is not a violation of liberty. A transfer of wealth imposed by force, that is not a violation of property. Imagine mo, meron ba ganun? If you cannot reconcile this contradiction, then you must conclude that the law cannot organize labor and industry without organizing injustice. Rehoboam. Sino po si Rehoboam? Anak ni Solomon. What is the cause of the split of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom? Sabi niya, Rehoboam, wala na yung tatay mo, magaling yung tatay mo, pero your father made our yoke heavy. Now therefore lighten the burdensome service of your father. Ano mo naman kami? Patawarin mo naman kayo. Huwag mo na kunin lahat yung mga property namin. Solomon was a great king, but he took a lot from the people. Taxation. The people of Israel wanted relief from the heavy taxation and forced service of Solomon's reign, and they offered allegiance to Rehoboam if he agreed to this. Sabi ni Rehoboam, okay, let me think about it. And nag-consult siya doon sa mga matatanda. Sabi ng mga tanda, yeah, tama yung sinabi nila. And then sabi niya, consult ako doon sa mga bata. Sabi ng mga bata, dagdagan mo. Mga arte sila. So God warned Israel about this in 1 Samuel 8, 10 to 19. When through Samuel, he spoke of what a king would take from Israel. After the warning, the people still wanted a king, and now they knew what it was like to be ruled by a taking king. Sadly, the elders of Israel made no spiritual demand or request on Rehoboam. Seemingly, the cross idolatry and apostasy of Solomon didn't bother them at all. Ibig sabihin, doon ho nangyari ang split. But taxation is biblical. Romans 13:6-7, sinabi ho, give honor to whom honor is due. Matthew 22:17, sabi ni Jesus, ibigay ho natin kay Caesar, na kay Caesar, render to Caesar the things of Caesar. These two passages and serve to underscore God's principle of taxation, and for you, the public servant, the right to tax. Okay? So, tama naman ang taxation, wag lang sobra. Okay, I will just read this. Since the Philippine government claims ownership over everything because of the papal bulls. Yung mga nandito po nung start ng first part, alam ho natin yan. Yung papal bulls, meron ho tayo yung discovery. The papal bulls that promotes dominion for Christ. Thus, the Philippines should pursue the development of resources in pursuance of the dominion mandate of God to man. Property ownership then has a divine purpose based on its original conception, which is to fulfill God's directive to man to subdue and replenish the earth for His glory, and for the Great Commission of discipling the nations. Thus, the state can only operate in the cultivation and regulation of property within the framework and paradigm of the cultural or dominion mandate and the Great Commission. And to do otherwise would make its action upon private property without any legal authority. Alam niyo po ba, noong 1589, nung sariwa pa ang mga Espanyol dito, nag-revolt po ang mga taga Ilocos Norte. Yan ito yung tawag nung the revolt against tribute. Kasi ang taas daw ng mga buwis. At alam niyo nangyari, pumayag po ang mga Espanyol that time. Mag-tax tayo, ayusin natin yung mga tax system natin. Ano nangyari? Yung sa Balintawak, ano nangyari? Sedula, bakit? Because it is again a representation of the oppression against them. It is therefore, sabi ni Diosdado Macabagal nung inaugurate niya laying ng foundation ng Balintawak Monument, this is the last slide. This is therefore evident that the Philippine Revolution was launched by Bonifacio and our other heroes not merely to attain political independence but simultaneously to achieve social and economic emancipation of our people. Kasi nga, nahihirapan sa buwis. Bonifacio tearing of the cedula, which set off the fires of revolution, was dictated by circumstances prevailing during this time. He and his handful of gallant men had to do it, for the cedula symbolized the social and economic enslavement of our people at the time. Significantly, the present is to a large extent similar to that historic chapter of our national existence. For today, there are cedulas to be torn into pieces. There are economic chains of bondage that must be broken. Our people must enjoy the fruits of social and economic stability, which is the spirit and the very essence of political sovereignty. So how do you do that? By limiting governments, understanding biblical governments. In conclusion, the mandate of God towards man for dominion has its most practical application in the manner of stewardship of God's creation. Can we just read stewardship? 1, 2, 3. Stewardship is work, and man was given the call to work on God's creation. Work is the application and sharing of man's life and liberty, his time and gifts to the world. When man works, production results, and this production is property. Property is God's strategy of providing for the needs of man and the world. Man is called to occupy, do business, trade until God's return. It means man is to work towards productivity and blessing others for the glory of God. Parable of the talents. The covenantal family is the primary entity that cares for property, thus primarily responsible to care and provide welfare for members. The church is to assist the task of providing welfare with the family, especially for the widows and orphans. The civil government is to ensure the protection of property and the free exercise thereof. Civil government achieve this by enforcement of justice and maintaining a fair and non-confiscatory tax system. Through the biblical understanding of property, man's work, and the roles of God-ordained institutions pertaining to property, we can better help our generation fulfill God's dominion mandate for all man. Amen.